नमस्कार. Myself Dr. Mayuresh Akte. I am MD in Dravid Vignan. I am BA in Sanskrit and Diploma in Yoga Ayurveda. I am Professor of Dravid Vignan and also postgraduate guide in the same subject. In last 24 years of my academic career, I came across the main difficulty of the student with Ayurveda is to know the exact meaning of Ayurvedic terms, Ayurvedic principles, and more importantly, their clinical application in the patients. Hence, to explore the Ayurveda in totally clinical way, I decided to start this series of clinical Ayurveda. In this clinical Ayurveda series, we will discuss different Ayurvedic principles, dravyas, and everything totally in totally clinical way. Our base will be of course Dravida Vignan, but in the course of the time we will discuss Sharir Kriya, Rachana, Rasashastra, Bhaishajya, Nidan, Chikitsa and all other subjects also, because all these subjects are interlinked with each other, and knowledge of all these subjects and their linking in between is very much required to have a success in the practice and to apply the Ayurveda in patients. To start with the first episode, I have chosen Rasayan Chikitsa because Rasayan Chikitsa is a unique gift given by Ayurveda which no other medical science has given to the world. We proudly talk about Rasayan Chikitsa in lectures, in the articles, etc. But does we apply it thoroughly in the patients or in practice? Or it is limited to give Shatavari, Ashwagandha or some Rasayan Dravyas and Rasayan Chikitsa is over. Hence, I have decided to start with the Rasayan Chikitsa. Now there are various Rasayan Dravyas described in the Ayurveda. For example, Shatavari, Sariva, Yashti Madhu, which are Madhur Madhur Shita Gunatmak Dravyas, and at the same time, Chitra, Ballatak, Pipali, like Tishna Usha Dravyas are also described in the text. Now, these two groups are totally different as far as Rasavirapa Guna is concerned. Now, Shitaviratmak Dravya Guna also do Rasayan Karma, and Tishna Ushna Gunatmak Dravyas also do Rasayan Chikitsa. When these exactly opposite property dravyas are doing or performing the same function in the body, it means their line of indication, their line of action and their indication in the patient's body is totally different. Unless and until we know which drug to be used in which condition, until that Rasayan Chikitsa we are not going to be successful. So let us start with the clinical application of Rasayan Chikitsa. I will give you one example. A patient is suffering from Pandu, which is generally in local language it is called as anemia, and you have given medication. The patient is cured by the medication. Now patient asks you to give some medication so it will not reoccur. Of course, you have to think of Rasayan Chikitsa in this case, and you have to create now a Prashasta Uttam Dhatu, the meaning of Rasayan Chikitsa. Now patient is in front of you and you have to create a Prashasta Uttam Dhatu in the patient's body. Which conditions you will think of? The first condition will be, of course, Ahar should have a Dhatu Poshak Amsha, because that Dhatu Poshak Amsha in Ahar will go to the body and they will be helpful in the production of that Dhatu. So first condition which is required, you have to ask the patient to eat that Dhatu Poshak Ahar. Patient has arranged that Dhatu Poshak Ahar. What will be the next stage required? That Dhatu Poshak Ahar, after taking in as a food, it will go to the Annava Srotas. And what will happen? Jatragni will have process on that Ahar and will transform that Anna into Aharas. So, the next stage which will be required in our Rasayan Chikitsa will be Prakrut Jatharagni. It is not Prakrut, then Ahar will not form and Dhatu will not be created as a Prashasta Dhatu. So you have fulfilled that condition also. What will be the next condition? Jatharagni will produce the Ahar Ras, and now this Ahar Ras will go to the each Dhatu in that Srotas of each Dhatu. Now who is going to transport this Ahar Ras from Annava Srotas to the Srotas of each Dhatu? Of course, Vata Dosh. So next condition which must be present in the patient's body will be Prakrut or Anuloma Vata Dosh. And when this Anuloma Vata will be present, when there will be no obstructions, it means there should not be presence of any Strotorod. Then only Vayu will flow in the proper direction and it will reach to the Srotas of each Dhatus. So you have to take care of next two steps that there should not be any Srotorod in the body and Vata dosh should be Anuloma. You have taken the care of these things also. So now Ahar Ras, which is form of Dhatu Poshak Amsha, will be transported from Vata dosh to the each Srotas of each Dhatu. What will happen there? Of course, Dhatuvagni. Dhatuvagni will have process on that Ahar Ras and they will take their Dhatu Poshak Amsha from Ahar Ras and Dhatu will be created. So the next step will be required will be a Prakrut Dhatuvagni. So what the steps we have learned now? A Dhatu Poshak Ahar, Prakrut Jatharagni, Anuloma Vata dosh, absence of Srotorod and Prakrut Dhatuvagni. At this Dhatuvagni level, your Prashasta Uttam Dhatu has been formed. Rasayan Chikitsa is been achieved. Still, to sustain this Chikitsa for a longer time and you should not hamper in the course of the time, you require another condition present in the body. And what will be this condition is homework for you. We will discuss this condition in the next episode and we will discuss various Rasayan Dravya and their application according to the diseases, according to these points which are required for the Rasayan Karma and interlinking between them. I hope you must have liked this Clinical Ayurveda episode, the first episode, and we will meet soon to resume this Rasayan Chikitsa further. Thank you very much. I will like your comments and suggestions also. Thank you very much.